This week we saw Pacific Rim. And I have to tell you, after thinking about it, I like it better than American Godzilla.
What? Anything beats American Godzilla. Especially Japanese Godzilla.
Indeed. So went into this one full of excitement, and after watching it, it's okay.
It's a feel-good movie. I mean, it's giant monsters, giant robots. If you go in there and start nitpicking, like the scene you guys all seen in the commercial,
and
where there's an oil tanker where the robot picks up the oil tanker and hits a monster with it, and you're all like, that oil tanker would just break under its own weight out of the water.
Right, yeah.
But giant robots and giant monsters are okay for you people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta go in this movie not like looking at like realism, because if you're looking for realism, then you wouldn't be watching this movie.
Mm-hmm. To basically sum up the story, monsters appear, and we have to kill them. Yeah, that's pretty much
it. Not us.
No. Then
Other people have to kill them.
You'd be boned if it was up to us, but no, it's up to giant mechs to go do that.
And you would think with video games and stuff like that, they would make these things like remote controlled.
Yeah, they make it really complicated in this one. This is my first. I have a few nitpicks on this one. The reality one, very good point. But this one, they start off in the way that I hate it when they start off any movie, because After Earth did this, but they start the movie with a whole bunch of exposition explaining, okay, this is the universe you just dived into. Let's catch you up to speed with this 5 to 10 minute intro scene. They did the same thing with After Earth, and it makes you feel like you're walking into Pacific Rim 3 as opposed to Pacific Rim 1, because you could have, I argue you could have made a movie just based on what we found out in the beginning.
Alright, I hear what you're saying. I didn't see After Earth, nor am I going to ever.
No, you should.
I'd rather watch I, Robot like 50 billion times. But
watch my review to find out why.
But I think, with movies like this, people don't want to take the time to actually get caught up. And I think a lot of people go in this thinking, I need action. That's all I want to see is robots versus monsters. Where is it? How long is it going to take before I see it? And so I think by just cutting it that short, After Earth, when you just have two people running through the woods all day long, well, mainly one person running through the woods all day long, you might want to take the time and use that to build something besides watching one kid run around going, ah! But, in this movie, people don't want to really care exactly why is going on. They do a good job, like, this is what's going on, here it is. Action.
Fair enough. Now, another thing I had an issue with, and this is more of a feeling I felt watching out the movie, and I'm curious to see if you felt the same way. The movie, to me, felt almost like we were watching the synopsis of Season 1 of Pacific Rim. Like this was, where we were watching a pilot or even a pilot for something, for this as a show. Because I realized it on the car ride back. You know what this made me think of? Starship Troopers. Yeah.
How?
Human race fighting against this horde of monsters could easily be turned into a series. In fact, in the case of Starship Troopers, it has been turned into a series here and there. And it's just basic fighting through a supernatural force.
I don't know. In the difference comparison I see with these two in the movie, Starship Troopers, we never evolved weapon-wise. It's like machine guns and grenades and normal weapons. These things take like 50,000 rounds to go down, but we're going to still use the same weapons over and over again. At least in this movie, there's giant robots. It took a lot of weapons to bring them down. So we developed new weapons to fight these things.
Oh, God.
So we evolved. And
To be fair, though, we never evolved as far as in the movie. The robots are there at the beginning. And
Yes.
It's not like they though if the robots merged to form a super robot, that would have been amazing.
But no, I mean, they even have different robots, different versions from when they first started building them through, and you see some of the different ones and how they've changed and how they've evolved the robots. They I don't see this as anything that could be made into a series. I don't see it can be made into another movie.
No,
it doesn't have. It just doesn't have anything that.
And Starship Troopers did.
Well, you have alien bugs and stuff that could be different and stuff like that in different planets, kind of like Aliens.
You know how you make this a kids movie? You have there be an evil overlord alien who sends the aliens down there up there in the case of this movie, and it's up to the good guys to kill it each time. And then you have different robot teams that don't die, unlike with this one, and and there you go. There's your Saturday morning cartoon.
Yes, which they have plenty of.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look. Voltron.
There's a blazing sword in this movie. Spoiler.
I mean, hints of Transformers, Power Rangers, Godzilla, Gamera. I mean, there's you look at this and when you're watching, if you've ever watched it when you were a kid growing up and stuff like that, I don't know about how far the Power Rangers have gone in my lifetime. I watched it when it first came out way back in the day. I kind of phased out when the green guy came running around or something like that. But, because I'm a Godzilla fan, and so that was kind of something nice to watch, something different. But it just didn't keep my interest. Too much drama with the kids. Mm. But, no, I mean, you see all these things, and you kind of see where, they get the ideas from stuff in this movie from all those different things. Mm. Oh, and don't forget, there's two different Voltrons. The Lions and the Vehicles. Just in case some people out there are like, which Voltron? I'm talking about both.
Another issue I had is that, you bring up logic but there are several points in this movie where it sort of just doesn't make sense to me. My favorite scene is, oh, don't worry, our robot is analog, not digital. I can't go into it specifically or else I spoil the movie, but they're a little thing. It just doesn't make, why would it be analog?
Because it's the oldest version they have.
But it's nuclear powered.
Right.
Okay. But anyway, I also got, this movie is also very cliched. Cliched to a point where it almost felt like an 80s/90s movie to me.
Oh yeah, when we were watching it, when you watch it with your friends, you're going to do the same thing. You'll see things that happen in this, and everything that comes into your mind just comes out. It's me and Malcolm were doing the whole movie.
Oh God, yeah. This movie is probably the most easily heckled movie we've watched so far.
I don't know if you want to say heckled.
Yeah, I'll form the head.
I know. But that's not really heckling. It's noticing.
You don't
need
the
nods.
It doesn't need to be mean-spirited to be heckling.
Yes, but we're not really interrupting the movie.
Or what would you say, riffing then?
Maybe, yes, ripping.
Yes, riffing. But yeah, there.
You can't really heckle because heckling is antagonizing.
Yeah, there's a lot of cliches in the story. The underdog duo who fuck up in the beginning and then get the moment to save the day. The drill sergeant who of course gives the "This is Zion" on the "This is our Independence Day" type speech at some point in the movie. Beat for beat, there are a lot of these. But if you love special effects, and this movie has it, I have to give props to the special effects, most definitely. And you like seeing monsters and shit destroy whatnot, this movie has it in spades.
Yes, and it's a fun movie. you don't go in there and expecting like all this crazy stuff to happen. You go there to enjoy the movie, and it's very enjoyable. I'm gonna go see it again Sunday, and it's not. It's got its merits, but I think the best thing and my favorite thing is for me is you see like the different nods. I don't know if they do it intentionally or if they're ripping it off, but I take it as nods to go with it. But I think it reminds me of like when I was younger. We all like when we were younger when we didn't have bills, responsibilities.
Now, let's talk about how did you enjoy the cast for the movie?
I think the cast was really good. I mean, I think they picked out a lot of great people for it, and Ron Perlman is in it, and
he steals the show.
The best thing about Ron Perlman is he doesn't take himself seriously. Like he'll play any part, even if you can't tell it's him, But he doesn't care. He just likes to act. And when you see his movies, you see that.
He has fun with this role. He read. You can tell he read the script and like, I'm not winning an Academy Award for this. I'll probably be poked fun at anyway. So you know what? Do me a favor. Get me some steel-toed shoes for this part, would you? And he just has fun with it, and it really does show. I like the main character and the lead actress in this. I thought they had good chemistry together.
Yep.
I love the fact that she, at least in the first half of the movie, she is pretty much an anime character. She plays the shy girl type very nicely. And the fight scene, the sparring match between her and him was actually really good.
Well, all the sparring matches he had was really good, but when you get those two together, it's each one you can kind of tell they're trying to win the respect of the other one.
Now, I will say the movie, I think, kind of drops the ball as they show off, like, an assortment of teams for different robots, but they don't last really too long. The focus is generally on the two main characters.
Well, circumstances arise that they're not used to.
Yeah, fair enough, but I thought it would have been a more interesting film if they were different. If those teams lasted a little longer in this one, or at least you gave them more personality, the teams, I mean. But other than that, now let's go into the special effects here.
Oh, I love the special effects in this movie.
They did a fantastic job. Like, my big issues with the Transformers is I always make the joke that Transformers look like metallic throw-up. But I love the designs for the robots. They're smooth, they're solid, and they look good. And the robots each look different.
Yep.
And it added to the personality.
Oh, definitely. And then the environments. Now, we all said what we said about Superman. Not running back to Superman, but you got two people that are human sized as Superman, and they destroy like 50 billion like buildings in like 3 seconds. And in this movie, you get giant robots and giant monsters, and I think they destroy less buildings than Superman and Zod did in the movie Superman.
Makes you think.
And,
well, most of the time they fight in water too.
Right. But, it just shows that they don't need to have to destroy everything around them. Like in a video game, you have like a bazooka and you want to destroy every single inch of the screen because you can. The thing about this is they're trying to contain the damage, unlike Superman, who's just like, I'm Superman, I don't care what you can do. Slap me with the bill, I'll just punch you in the face. It didn't seem like he cared what was going on in that movie. But in this movie, it shows that, they're trying to protect the city and stuff like that. So they're trying to stall while they evacuate and stuff. And the robot interaction with the monsters, the buildings, everything was so great. It looked so real, and you could see, like, the time and effort that the team put into doing this movie. And the details, the lighting, everything. The reflections off the robots, all the effects of all the different creatures. And some of the creatures don't even differ that much. But each one that differs just a little bit, it's enough to like definitely change so you know which are which.
Do you have anything else you want to bring up on this one?
Alright, well, let's see if I can figure out some stuff to nitpick on. Because I don't always nitpick on movies.
Yeah, you're kind of the devil's advocate on this.
Yeah, I am. I gotta nitpick on some movies.
I'll see if I can devil's advocate for you.
Okay. Things I didn't like in this movie. I didn't like the fact that, like, the robots needed two pilots. That just, yeah, and the way the cockpit was, they left the operators vulnerable in a lot of the robots. So it's like, alright, come on here. We've seen people die because of where you put the cockpit. Can we change it up a little bit? No? You're not in it, so you don't care? Okay, good job. Another thing I didn't like about it, they build a contingency plan so they don't have to keep using the robots. And it fails like that. And instead of bringing more funding back to the robots to get them back to where they were, they decide to go ahead and keep going with the thing that's not working. And you would think that, alright, we need to start putting some funding into robots because what we have isn't working and we need to save cities. But it never changes. And the last thing that I really didn't like is, like he said, you see in the trailers, they fight in the water. Not one creature is designed not to be in water at some point in time. They're designed to be mobile in the water. Yet every robot, there's not one robot that's designed to work well underwater.
Yeah, Metal Gear Ray could have really cleaned up in this universe.
Oh, and one thing that me and Malcolm talked about, every weapon they use, they have a blade in it, and it works amazing. Like, they could use, like, yeah, the blazing sword. And it works great, and it kills these monsters easily. Yet they have to use all these weapons and stuff that take, like, 5 to 20 minutes to charge up to attack while they're fighting this creature. Holding it off, trying to hold it in place to use this weapon.
Mm-hmm. They have to, with so many weapons, that's the case. I mean, the first fight in the beginning is pretty painful just because it's like, almost there. Man, it's like, Jesus, it takes like 30 seconds to a minute for them to actually use a weapon, and
I don't think Goku's Kamehameha takes, like, half as long as that to cast.
No.
And and as you see, like, the newer designs of the robots, they get faster and stuff, but their weapons take the same amount of time to charge, and it comes back and bites them in the ass in the end. And you would think that they would evolve and realize this, but they don't. It's like, the blades don't work. You can use long range, that's fine, but you need some, like, blade weapons of just punching things with your fist.
I do have one other nitpick, which stems from your nitpick as far as the two pilots. My issue is they created such a big universe with so much mythos into it that it kind of struggles to...
Now, when you say mythos, you mean where Bellkeep Bartakamus comes from?
That's mythos.
Oh, mythos, yes.
I said mythos. And they cram so much into it, and the fact that their creative department created all this, fantastic, great job. However, it works best if you're like a Peter Jackson, who has not only a 3-hour movie, but 3 3-hour movies to fit all of it into. With this movie, there's so much stuff that they're cramming in there. It feels like they're rushing through it just to talk about all of it.
I don't think so. There's only 2 Russian people in the whole movie. But I don't think the movie was rushed at all. I thought it was well paced. Like I said, you gotta remember what you're looking at. If you saw a Godzilla movie, right? And for one story for a Godzilla movie took 3 movies that were 3 hours long, right? Just for Godzilla to destroy the city.
Well, okay. I can argue with you there. With Godzilla, there's nothing really to discuss. Like, a bomb went off, and this creature is a mutant, and Godzilla is there.
Okay, so this thing opens up in the sea, and these creatures come out.
It's not just It's not just a thing opens up in the sea.
Yes, but that's all they know at the moment.
No, they know right at the begin. They tell us right at the beginning what it is that opens up.
Yeah, a dimension that opens up.
You ruined the movie.
But you don't know where it goes to, so I will keep that a secret. But they tell you everything in advance. They tell you everything that they know, which isn't much.
Okay, the two pilots, where the whole thing leads to down underneath the sea, the whole.
Yeah, but you find out when they find out.
You find out when they. It's still a lot to cram. Like I said, this could have been spaced out across movies if they were looking to build a franchise around it.
Again, they're not trying to build a franchise around this movie. You could definitely tell.
Okay.
This is coming from the money man over here. Malcolm Money Man. That's what I'm going to call him from now on. Yeah. Because he always talks about, like, franchising the movie, making it, like, this epic thing and, like, longevity of it.
Because that's what you do. That's what they do.
That's why you make, like, robotic figures and monster figures like they did in the movie.
Okay, when they have the TV show open up, I'm just gonna call you and laugh and laugh and laugh.
You can call me all you want.
Yeah.
I won't answer, but you can call me.
All right, so
your voicemail is full. It's 25 million messages from Malcolm laughing at you.
Yes, and I'll send some text messages.
Okay.
Too. All right, so let's go with the nitty gritty. The rating. What would you say?
Well, like I said, I was going there expecting like a Godzilla type movie, and I got that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give it 2 thumbs up. I'm gonna see it again Sunday. I really enjoyed it because I enjoy Godzilla movies, and that's all I was going for. I wasn't going for like this huge, like amazing story. I was just going for like monsters versus robots.
Okay, we're gonna have to agree to disagree here, because well, as far as what it sets out to do, it's okay.
I love how he's going to try to explain this his way, where it doesn't lead to a conversation about like our difference in opinions and me trying to validate the movie to his, like when he does his little nitpicking, and I'm always like, well, you gotta remember this and this. So he's trying to figure out how to word this where I'm not gonna come back and go, yeah, but this and this. And this is his opinion, and I'm not gonna do that. I'm letting him know in advance.
Despite my nitpicks here, as far as, it feels like I'm watching Pacific Rim 3 then, as opposed to Pacific Rim 1. I would have loved it if they started off when the monsters first appear, and then we just went on that whole ride together instead of just having an exposition in the beginning. But I digress. I thought the movie, they're trying to cram too much stuff into it. I did enjoy the monster fights. In fact, some of the ways that they handled it are pretty creative. I personally found that there are a few spots in there that don't quite make sense, but then again, I'll concede that perhaps watching it again, that it'll open up a little bit. As far as this movie, if you love special effects, if you like watching stuff look huge, if you like scope and monster fights, then I would recommend a matinee showing of this. In fact, go see it on IMAX if you can, just to get the whole spectacle.
All right, now you're trying to sell them to save money, go see it in a matinee, and then you tell them to go ahead and pay $15 to see it in IMAX.
Is it $15 no matter what?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Then don't see it in IMAX. Just see it in the matinee. But that's if you're a special effects geek. Otherwise, I would say wait till it comes out on rental.
Go to the drive-in and see it.
Drive-in actually could work pretty well.
If you have one in your neighborhood.
I found out that I have kind of one in my neighborhood. So that's what we think. We're kind of split, but what do you think? If you saw it, let us know in the comments below. If you just want to disagree with Fat Kid, feel free. That's always appreciated.
Nobody disagrees with the Fat Kid. You don't do that. You know why? You feel bad for the Fat Kid.
Yeah. In fact, there was a comment that someone wanted us to feed the Fat Kid.
Yes.
Are you hungry?
No.
Okay. Next week, we're seeing Red 2.
Yes.
And we both saw Red. I believe we both enjoyed it.
Yes, he was really funny. I liked him on the 70s show. He was a great character, and he added a lot of diameter.
I wish it was Red. He's dumb and he's an ass. He's a dumbass. But yeah, the movie with Bruce Willis, I wasn't expecting to like the first one, and it turned into one of those movies that me and my wife just love.
Again, and here's the thing, and here's funny thing about it is there's also R.I.P.D. coming out that same day. Both movies based on comics.
Coincidence?
I
Actually,
think not.
could it be made by the same? No, it
No.
wouldn't.
It's not.
No movie studio would be dumb enough.
We're gonna fight each other for this money. Yes.
Let's take the money out of our pockets. Yeah.
Again, I'm gonna go see R.I.P.D. also that weekend because I really want to see it. It looks hilarious. When I see the trailers for it, all I can think of is Constantine meets Men in Black.
I felt like such a buzzkill when I said Red 2.
He's like, oh, we're gonna go see Red 2 next week because then else comes out. Like R.I.P.D. comes out next week.
I really did feel bad. I apologize, man.
That's okay.
All right.
But I want to see both anyway, so it kind of works.
There you go. All right, folks. What do you think Red 2 is going to be like? Leave a comment below and let us know.
I'm gonna say it's gonna be like Red 1.
I'm pretty sure they'll be old people. Damn it, Natty. Folks, if
Special appearances by the Cat Natty today are brought to you today by part of
multiple cats. Bisbee ran across behind us. Folks, if you liked the video, click like at the bottom. Also subscribe. We will see you next week for another movie review.